Welcome back to the Daily Doji. Welcome back. Today we're doing technical analysis of Dogecoin and DGB. I'm not sure what DGB is, but one of my subscribers asked for the analysis in the comments in the last video. So here we are. If you have any suggestions on what symbols to look up and do the technical analysis for in the next video, then let me know in the comments and I will do them. Alright, so right now we're looking at the Dogecoin first and we'll do DGB after. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me and everything, and we'll get right into it. And also, if you're watching in the replay, leave me a comment below, and also make sure to give it a like if you're getting value out of these videos. So what we've got here, let's go to a longer time frame and take a look at this chart. Now, I look at the 1 minute chart when I'm trading, but each day you want to get the big picture, so you want to start with the daily or the weekly, just so that you can get an idea of what's going on, because sometimes if you're looking at the too close on the chart, then you're not going to really see the big picture of what the waves are doing. You might be looking at like a sub-wave or a mini wave and not the entire wave. Alright, here we are. Now if you want to see the previous videos where I did this count before, I did a detailed Elliott Wave count here to explain to some people. Also, I have just finished, I'm going to delete these though now. I've just finished a program about how to trade stocks and crypto. It is not officially released yet, but there are a couple people in the beta test already. So I have a couple more spots left in the beta program, but they're running out. So if you do want in on that before I officially release it, I will give you a discount. And just because I need some help overviewing the program before I go all in on it, basically. So if that sounds good to you, reach out to me. There's a link to schedule an appointment in the bottom of the description, or you could reach out to me on Instagram in a message. Alright, so as I talk, I'm just scanning over this and trying to get it into one frame. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we've got the WXY. This came down 3 waves. Wham! Right at the beginning. Then it went up 3 waves. So I knew that it wasn't done there, well, because it was too soon also. But then we came down again and made another 3 waves down. 1, 2, 3 right here. And some people are wondering, was that the end down there or not? And I think that was not the bottom, because, and I've been saying this for weeks, I'm just repeating, because right after this supposed bottom right here, we had 3 more legs back up. 1, 2, 3. Now if that would have been 5 waves up before coming back down, then I would have gotten excited. But it's 3 legs, which means we're still in the correction. I know nobody wants to hear that. I'm not talking about what I want to happen. I'm just giving as non-biased of an analysis as I can. And then we're still under, you see this white line right here? This is the moving average. Those are all moving averages. But this one is the 200. It was the 144. I changed it to the 200. It's pretty close, but the 200 is a more common for people to trade on. And actually, I'll make I want to make the 200 a little bit thicker. There we go. Now the 200 EMA is really sticking out. That's the one you want to keep the biggest eye on. But I talk about how to trade the moving averages in my course. It's not, right now, we're still underneath the 200 EMA. Still. So, oh, thank you someone for whoever left a like. I appreciate that. Oh, someone commented. Rocketman said, yo, I'm still holding my Doge. Loud and clear. Awesome. Rocketman, blah, da, 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 da. That's a song. Cool name. I'm just messing around. So, still holding Doge. Well, I think this was a good opportunity, a buy opportunity right here. As far as I've been, and as you can see, I have some circles drawn on the RSI from the last couple videos, and I was explaining how to see these signals on the RSI, but it went a step further and it gave us even more signal, especially right here. So as you can see, it dropped on the RSI, it dropped below 30 on the, this is the RSI up here. If you double click on it, it'll go full screen. So this is just the RSI full screen. And I keep circling these because I keep teaching this same lesson. But every time it dips down, I get alerts. But it depends on what time frame that you're trading, where to set your alerts. There's also, not to keep repeating myself, but there's another module on how to set up the alerts in my new program that's not launched yet. So the alerts, and I've talked about the alerts in my live videos as well. So we dropped down on the RSI right here, which would have been right here in price. That could have been a buy signal, but we've dropped down a lot since then. So I usually wait or only buy a little bit on the first signal. Now we've got another signal, and this kind of signaled it twice. Let me get rid of that. So it dropped down here, right here. Oops. Dropped down here, and it dropped below. Now it dropped down farther, and the RSI went up. So that would have been a buy signal for me, and I'm pretty sure I did buy some here. And I thought, is it gonna go up from there? Well, it did temporarily. So, and on the closer time frame, there was a one sell right there you could have sold on this spike. But on the hour, if you were trading on the hour time frame, it didn't come back up above until not that long ago. So the buy signals are down here below the 30, and the sell signals are up here above the 70. But I look for more than just that, though, because, for example, because of that. So if you would have bought a lot right here at 23, you would be disappointed when it dropped all the way down to 17, 16, 17. So this could have been the potential next leg up, but we went down another 3 legs. 1, 2, 3. So this looked like a big 1, 2, 3 right there. Let me make this a little bit different color. Okay. So this wave coming down was a larger 3 wave, and then this whole thing was, oh, now I see something differently. Okay, instead of calling that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, That was a subwave of 3. So this looks like it was probably more like A, B, C, D, E. And I had spelled that out in one of my previous videos and thought that that might be happening. Now it looks like it already happened. So let me get rid of these circles. Again, as it keeps dumping below this 30 on the RSI, each time it goes down below it, but it's trending upwards, especially over here. It's trending upwards, and the price is trending downwards. That just makes it more of a buy signal the more it does that pattern. So that would have been the ultimate spot right there. And I got a little bit down there at 16, or like right below 17. So, and then we're back up. We hit the top of that triangle that I had drawn and came back down into it. It could keep going down, but I think that that was the bottom of this pattern right here. Now, I don't think that was the bottom of the whole correction. I just think that was the bottom right now. Let me take a screenshot of this really quick. And anyone, oh, all right, let's see. Johnny Boy said Bitcoin's gonna dump to 28. What do you think? I will check Bitcoin in a moment after I finish these. Thank you for asking. I appreciate the comments always. Alrighty, so I'm gonna delete some of this stuff that I just drew so it's just not in my way. Is this making sense to you? All right, and if you're confused about any of this, I talked about it in a lot of different videos and also in my program. So there is hope for you still. Now this is a good chance to give a disclaimer that I'm not a licensed financial advisor and I don't necessarily recommend trading crypto because it's volatile and all over the place. I mean, I'm doing it, but just want to put that out there because it is risky. And even if you understand Elliott Waves, and even if you understand the other things I'm teaching, it's not 100% foolproof, although it is really the best methods I've found to predict what the market's going to do. That being said, there is still some risk. Okay, so if you don't understand this correction right here, this is basically a sideways wave. Now, the sideways action is the action that we don't want to trade because it's the most difficult, it's the most confusing. The corrections are hard to count. And as you can tell, I thought at one point, it was done right around here. I thought it was an X, Y, Z, but it was a B, C, D, E. No problem though, because I thought it might, if you saw my last few videos, I thought it might drop down to near the bottom of that again because it's making the pattern. If you look back here at the whole correction, this is the beginning of the correction starting on May 8th. Came down 3 waves, up 3 waves, down 3 waves. Made 3 subwaves here. So I knew by this subwaves that the correction is not over. Because if it was over, this would have been 5 waves. Like this. And it is not like that. It is 3 waves, definitely. So 5 waves didn't happen. Now, eventually, this is going to end up happening, and we're going to start 5 waves, impulses moving back up, and that will be the next bull market, but I didn't see any evidence of it happening yet, so unfortunately we have to keep waiting. But this is normal. Just know that it's normal for a correction to come down that far. It came right down twice almost exactly to this line right here, which is the Fibonacci Retracement line, 0.786. And again, there's a module in my program about that as well. And I've talked about it live for free too, if you've been watching. So came all the way up to there in the bull market previously, and then came all the way back to the 0.786. That's normal. That's normal. So I wasn't surprised, and that's why I had a buy zone drawn down here. Uh-oh, I see something. I see something not that good on the daily. We're below the 200-day moving average. That is bearish. So, yeah, we're below it on the 1 hour. So we still have to be careful because we're still below. Everything is still looking bearish. Now, I'm expecting a small wave up to like maybe 30 cents or 28. But let me copy this. Okay, copy this wave. Yeah, something right around there, 29. And it'll be something like that. If it is what I think it is, this will make a 3-wave pattern. The waves that it's making right now are subwaves. If you see back here, on the June 22nd, we had that similar kind of thing spike up and come back down. It's gonna go up and make 1, 2, 3, and then pull back and then do another 1, 2, 3 of some kind. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, 1, 2. This was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, actually, that looks more like an ABC. I had that label a little bit wrong. A, B, C. So it should be something like that. So we might see some subwaves of 5. And that might confuse some people to think that it's done. But I'm expecting 3 waves. They might have subwaves of 5, but they're going to be 3 main waves. And then I think we're going to come back down. But, oh, I had this drawn over here. I had this drawn over here in case it does this triangle all the way down. I had this. I can delete this now. That's not as helpful anymore. Okay, so this was basically going to be this. And instead of XYZ, it might be more like ABC. The difference is that ABC has subwaves of 5 and XYZ has subwaves of 3. Or WXY, I mean. Okay, so this is what we might have coming up. I'll move this back over here. But it would be about the same exact length, this next wave, or 1.618. So it could go up a little higher, 0.618 higher. But this is kind of what I'm expecting. So if it does come up here, and I see a good sell signal up at the top that's making that pattern that I keep talking about, where it's coming down while this is going up, something like that, then right there, the tip of it, if this is trending downward and this is trending upward, then that's the kind of sell I'll be looking for right up there. So just to be transparent, I'm probably going to be selling not all, but maybe 2/3 or so. If I'm awake, if I get you could put a limit order in so that even if you're not watching, it'll go through. But I prefer trading myself. Sometimes I do limit orders, but usually I just try to trade when I'm awake. I try not to get into a trade right before I go to sleep unless I'm pretty certain it's going up, but that's a risk. I mean, it's all a risk, just to be upfront. Okay, I got some questions coming in. Rocketman said, what platform is this? This is TradingView. And you can get a free version of it or a paid version. I'm not affiliated with them, although I would be if I can be, because it's a good platform. But you can get a free version, you can get a paid version. The free version is good. I have a video on my YouTube about how to set it up. I also have a couple videos on my program, how to set it up and also how to set the alerts. So you can't get the alerts unless you get the paid version, but the free version is good. I mean, for free, I would recommend it. You can at least get some of these indicators that you can't really get on like RobinHood or whatever you're trading on. Usually the charts on whatever you're trading on aren't going to be this customizable. So that's why I use this. And let's see. Charith Da Silva said, I'm holding since 48 cents. Ooh, rough. So are you all in, or do you have any money left to dollar cost average? It's possible that it's going to go lower. I'm not saying that to scare you, but I do think once this correction is done, my previous prediction was that the next wave is going to go up to about $1.50 or $1.40 something. So yeah, so this will eventually have another bull market, but you can't speed it up. And everyone that's holding wants it to hurry up, but what are we waiting for? Well, what we're waiting for is all the people shorting to run out. The people that are selling are still selling. And as soon as the people selling are done, then it will rocket. There's nothing we can really do about it except try to get your emotions under control and not let your emotions run amok, because you should just be trading based on the chart, I think, not based on the hype, because the news or anything else that matters is going to end up showing up on the chart. You're not missing out anything if you don't watch the news. The news shows up on the chart as the price. So people's reactions show up on the chart. Does that make sense? I've been talking about that a lot in the videos. The psychology behind this whole chart is psychology, believe it or not. This is mapping human psychology via Doge price. So, all right, Rocketman said, yeah, I bought all over the graph. Panic sold on the SNL day and buy all the way down. Yeah, that's not bad. That's kind of what I'm doing, except, I'm pretty systematic about these indicators. So I'm waiting for specific signals and counting the waves. So I was able to catch this at 13 cents. And I knew there would be another wave because I know Elliott Wave theory, which said there's got to be 5 waves up. And when there wasn't 5 waves up yet, I knew there would be another wave. So I made a juicy profit off of that. And then I got out at that top of the 3 because I thought that was the top. Because I thought there's a subwave right there that I thought was wave 4. But it was still pretty good. I mean, getting out at the top of wave 3 is actually a good strategy because sometimes wave 5s never go on to a new top. Sometimes wave 5s can be truncated. So it's usually good to take some profit at the top of wave 3. And this was the top of wave 3 this was the wave 3 of wave 5. So that's the subwave 3 out of this was wave 5. And if you've been watching my videos, then you should understand that at least a little bit. I've been talking about Elliott Wave theory the whole time. And then after it crashed right here, I was able to buy this bounce and make some money off of that bounce. And also I bought this bounce. So this has been pretty easy. However, I just want to be careful when I say that because it is still risky, even though I've been predicting pretty accurately. I mean, some of the people in the comments are blown away by how accurate I've been. I don't really impress myself, so I'm just trying to stay unemotional about it. So that's what we've got so far, and the reason I think it's got a bump up right here is because we've been seeing 3 wave structures. So we're due for another one similar to this right here. And obviously it's the middle wave is a lot longer, and that can happen in a correction. The corrections can get longer and longer as they go on. So we'll be seeing like similar patterns, but now they're repeating just longer because there's less volume, there's less people trading. You can see the volume bars down here spiking up and down. Yeah, by the end of the correction, there's going to be almost no one trading. And then eventually, once the people are done shorting, it will rocket and it'll do the next wave. And I'm not just guessing. That's definitely going to happen. It always happens. It's like gravity. It might take a long time. This correction could drag on longer than anyone wants, but we're always in a 5-wave pattern somewhere. So if you look on the monthly chart, oops, that wasn't the monthly. If you look at the monthly chart and turn off the drawings, look at the monthly chart. So what wave is that? It just looks like one wave, right? Yeah, it is. It's one wave. So this is what everyone's waiting for. That's one. And everything I was showing you earlier is a subwave. And then it's wherever it comes down, whenever it's finished. That's not what it'll look like. I just need to move this. Okay, so the third leg is usually the longest. The fourth wave cannot come down. The fourth wave cannot overlap wave 1. So when the fourth wave comes down in the future, it'll come back down to like 75. People that don't know what they're doing will freak out. And people that know what they're doing will buy, basically. And then the last wave will be wave 5. And this could take, years. But it'll look something like that. It'll look something like the daily chart looked like. Let me turn these off. See that 5 wave? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll look just like that, except it'll be on the monthly chart. And it'll be going up, obviously. So right now, this whole thing we're seeing right now is just the wave 1 of the monthly chart. See? Does that make sense? Because these waves create fractals that are inside each other. They repeat indefinitely. You can zoom in and zoom out, and it'll always be repeating the same patterns. Doesn't that blow your mind? Let me know if that blows your mind, because when I love that kind of stuff. That's nature for you. Some people call it Mother Nature. Some people call it the universe. Some people call it God. I mean, this is amazing. Mathematics. All right, anyway, enough of that. I talk about that in my program and in other videos. So let's go to the next chart. We're going to look up, someone requested that I look up DGB. So let's check it out right now. Also, if there are any other symbols that you want to see me do, let me know in the comments. I'll either do them today or tomorrow in the live. And it looks like we got a bunch of people tuning in. Hello. Oh, someone gave me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so here's DGB. I know that it's supposed to be pronounced Digibyte, but I like to be one of those people and pronounce every letter phonetically just to make a joke. So I'm going to call it DGB. It's going to freak some people out, but oh wow, okay, we've got a previous wave right there. All right, this is an old one. Actually, I remember this from back in the day. I was trading back in 2017, so some of these were around back then. Okay, so let's look at the weekly, actually. All right, so do you see anything? Right away, I see a pattern. This looks like a 5 waves up. But it's not the best 5 waves up I've ever seen. Then we had a long correction for 3 years. Then it finally started going up again. It made a new high, but it came down and it's overlapping with this previous wave, which is strange. And I see another 5 waves up right here. So what is this back here then? Because it doesn't really fit the mold. Because if this was the next wave, it should have come back to the top of the previous wave. So when it went up to 18 cents and then it came down lower than 14 cents, people probably exited and ran for the cover when it went down below 14, because that's not what we're looking for. So this might not have been a 5 wave. Let me go into the daily and see. This is definitely, I mean, it's got 5 waves all over it. So let's go back. Also, oh wow, there's a good buy. There was a good buy signal right there. When all these moving averages crossed, And first they were down here below the 200, the white one, and then they all crossed opposite and fanned out. That's what you're looking for. And then you could have escaped it right there when it went back down below, but if you were looking for the 5 waves, then you would have known this would happen. And all right, I'm being quiet for a minute. That might not be 5 waves, actually. Now that I'm looking closer in, looks like 3 waves, doesn't it? One, two, three. I don't see 4, 5. Now that I'm closer in looking at it, I don't see the 4, 5, so I'm going to delete this. And this one looks like potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, right here is a 1, 2, and 3. One, two, three. Was this 4, 5? That's not proportionate. Looks more like this is making waves of 3. At first this looked like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there are some things that I don't like. That this is a 1, 2, 3. This 1, 2. That's a 1, 2, 3. It looks like with subwaves of 5. So I think we're in some kind of crazy correction right now, that this was a bull trap. Well, I knew that from looking at this previous wave, because like I said a minute ago, it wouldn't have come back down. Once it went and made a new high to 18, 17, once it came down below this, that made it invalid to be a big bull market. So this looks like some kind of strange correction. So what are we waiting for then, now? We're waiting for it to hit the bottom again, and then we're waiting. This graph just seems upside down. Let me go back to the daily. The upside down chart. The reason I'm saying it looks upside down is because how is it a correction when it never went up? Like if we're back here to the beginning, it started back here somewhere. Oh, there it went up. But that was only at 1 cent. So it's showing it right here coming down hard. And then Let me start at the beginning and just get in close. This line is messing up the graph, so I have to, once I get to that line, it goes bam. Okay, so what have we got? Correcting, correcting. All these overlapping waves. That looks like just like a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is all like these are overlapping each other, and I don't see a clear impulsive wave up. So this just looks like correction, some strange correction that just is going on. I mean, we're above the 200 moving average the whole time. It's bouncing off of it. Okay, it finally went under it. Oh, this is back in 2016. Okay, now we had a run up. Right here. Do you see 5 waves there? Wow, that's a hard one. I see 5 waves here. See them right there. And then then went up for another, which looks like 1, 2, 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. I mean, pretty clearly. So that was not a bull market. That was just a trap in the middle of a correction. Very strange. And then it gets sucked into the 200 EMA again, crosses back down to a death cross. That's when these cross over underneath. And then, that was in 2018. Went down, down, down. Then we had a golden cross, which crossed back up. We had 1, 2, 3 waves going up. One, two, three, coming back down. So I think this was a big one, two, three of some kind. But yeah, that's really confusing. And honestly, with no clear wave count, I would not be messing around because it's unclear what market we're in. I mean, we had a death cross up here when we went below crossed back below the EMA's crossed back. So that's not good on the daily. And it doesn't have a clear 5 waves going up unless this one here is the hardest to read. Oh wow, I can't stop doing that. This one right here. I mean, it just looks like a 1, 2, 3. I can't see it any other way. Definitely does not look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't like that. Don't like that at all. So this one, yeah, it's not the greatest time to buy. Look for my RSI signals. This isn't really it yet because this didn't come down farther. You could nibble at it a little bit as it comes down. I mean, it's definitely come down a lot so far, but at this point, this one is uncertain, and that's not good. You don't want to be putting money into something that you're uncertain of. And if whoever's watching that requested this, if you already have money in it, now is not a good time to sell. So, and again, I'm not a financial advisor and don't do something just based on only what I said. But just my personal opinion, if it was me, if I was in the middle of a trade, I would not, depending on where you got in, but this doesn't look like a good time to sell. It looks like a time to buy, not the best, but it's it's closer to a buy signal than a sell signal. Let me just, I guess, put it that way. But, we could have several more days of bear market because we just crossed over down there. That's not good. All right, anything else? Everyone, all the viewers just tuned out during that. So what else do we want to look at? Bitcoin? All right, let's do Bitcoin. Thank you for the people tuning in. I appreciate it. All right, let's do Bitcoin. Ooh, similar as far as the death cross goes. Let's see. So as you can see, I did this already in previous videos. We had an A, B, C correction right there. Then we had, here I can see 5 waves going up. And 4, 5. And although that last wave was a 5th wave triangle, a little bit truncated. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 waves coming down so far. And then we're in the middle of a sideways action. So then I think this is probably done. That was probably it right here. Oops. And then this one is probably started up there and is probably doing something like this. Come on. Come back. Probably I'm just doing something more like this. Now this might not happen exactly like that, but this is what I would be expecting. More down until, and I would be looking to buy. I've got an alert set right here for when it goes below 24-ish. I'm going to start licking my lips and preparing to go in. Why right here? Well, because that was the previous high, was around 19,000 something. So we could go back down to 19,000 something before going back up. And that would be, for me, probably a good opportunity. Now, again, I'd also be looking for other signals like the RSI and the MACD and the moving averages. If it's all pointing to the same thing, that would help me to confirm my count. So I mainly go off the Elliott Waves, and then I use the other indicators to confirm my count, mostly the RSI. But all right, there you have it for Bitcoin. Oh, we got a bunch of questions coming in. Let's see. Johnny Boy said, which is the best coin to invest in your opinion, other than Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Doge? Well, in my opinion, I would not call it investing. I would call it speculating, because what's the investment? What is the asset? Is Bitcoin or Doge an asset? I don't think it is. And I think that that's what the SEC doesn't think it is either. So there are not really those same rules applied, because it's not really an asset, and I don't think it is either. Now, I'm trading it anyway, but I wouldn't necessarily call it an asset. I know a lot of people would whine about that, but it's not my... Doesn't matter what either of us says, actually. Let's see. So what's the best one, in my opinion? That's a good question. See, I'm looking at the chart, so I don't really care about the name of the coin. I know that that would blow a lot of people's mind. I'm not looking for a long-term hodl. I'm looking for the chart to be in a certain spot so that I'm looking ready to buy. So I would be looking for, like, if Bitcoin was at 20 or 19, I would say Bitcoin. If Doge was down at a spot at 9 cents, which it might go to, I would say, ooh, Doge is looking. So for me, it depends which one is the most oversold and which one is the farthest away from this white line. See this moving average? Which one is the farthest below the white line? Because it's going to want to come back to that white line. So the lower it is away from the white line, as long as it's not, like, be careful if it's just a total garbage, like something that is going to zero. As long as it's not going to zero. So in general, if it's a worthwhile asset, which that's a whole, I guess Warren Buffett would be like the fundamentalist, looking for the fundamentals, which is the best, has the best value. What I would be looking at, just based on the chart, not based on the company management or anything like that, those are the fundamentals. But I'm going just based on the technicals, which is just this chart only. So whatever would be the farthest away from this white line, below it, or if it's really far above it, then it's time to short. Like when it was way up here, I commented on some videos on social media. I said, look, it's looking like time to short Bitcoin. No one listened to me, of course, but except for my loyal subscribers. But yeah, it's easy. Oh, Doge alert. It's easy for me to notice that it was about to go down because the RSI was going down, 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 and the price was going up, 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 up. Well, one of these things is going to break. That's what I call teetering on the edge, or on the brink. So the perfect time to sell would have been obviously right there, when the RSI going down and the price going up both came to like this same synchronistic spot. Would have been dump it. And I was saying I didn't have any on. I didn't get in on that last run up, but I was looking and I was like, sell. I was cringing for some of my friends that might have been holding. I told some of them, I was like, oh, also Tesla I saw teetering on the brink, and I told one of my friends who I knew had a bunch of Tesla. I said, "Hey, dude, looking like probably time to sell Tesla. I'm not, I'm not telling you what to do, but dot dot dot." He said, "Oh, I already sold it." So, isn't it nice to be my friend? I don't have very many, so the few that I have are great people. But yeah, it's hard anymore in this day and age. All right, so that looks like about it for Bitcoin. Let's see, what else? Mike M said, if you're watching, hit the thumbs up. It takes 1 second. Thank you so much. Great idea. Thank you for helping support. I really do appreciate that. Let's see. Rocketman said, I researched some new coins, came across DIEM, Facebook new coin, previously known as Libra. They have a cool video on it, said they're not releasing it until market is in a bull phase. Ooh, thank you, Rocketman. Yeah, if anyone sees anything that is down a lot, let me know. Because honestly, I'm not, I have tons of different stocks I'm watching, but people are actually telling me things to check out, and I do, like I said, I have a couple good friends that are giving me tips on something to check out. One of my friends the other day told me to check out Hex. So I did a video on it, and to me it looked like it was teetering. Actually, it looked like it was teetering at the top, or it looked like it was close to the top. Actually, I'm curious what happened to it in the last couple days. Hex. All right, well, it looks like it's heading down it looks like it's heading down in the direction that I predicted. I mean, my drawings are aging well. All right, all right, all right. Not that I need any confirmation. I already know that I'm pretty darn accurate, so, or else I wouldn't be talking about it, because people are haters in general. So if I wasn't already confident about it, I would just stay away, because the haters would be too brutal. But honestly, I haven't gotten any haters on these videos, knock on wood. Although the other day someone said this is ridiculous, but I was just chatting at the end of my video, so. All right, well, it looks like the A wave is coming to an end at some point. And look at this. You see that, what I see? I see something. I see a 200 EMA lining up exactly with this line. Lining up with the 0.382 Fibonacci line. I bet you it's going to bounce off of that line, or close to it, and make this next wave up to at least the 0.236, or it could go all the way back up to the top and make an expanded flat. But I haven't been really seeing that recently, so it'll be something like this. But I'm not in on this one, so my friend is, but I told him to sell up at like 16 cents. And then I would probably, if it were me, I'd be waiting for it to either come back to the 0.5, which is around 10 cents, or if it drops into the buy zone. Well, obviously, yeah, that buy zone's purpose is to buy. But that's, just because it's my potential buy zone, I'm not even trading this coin. But you don't have to do something just because I'm doing it. And actually, that would be a bad reason to do it. All right. If something like this does happen, it might make like a channel. And if it does an ABCD, it might make some kind of channel where it just bounces in between like this. Something like that. might happen, but we'll see. I'm just speculating on what kind of pattern. As I see it coming through, so far I see 3 waves. So if it makes a 5-wave down, it would be an A, B, C. But if it just keeps doing 3, 3, 3, 3, like Doge has been doing, it can be pretty, it could be good at trades if you keep counting the 3 and 3 and 3, but these sideways ones can get pretty tricky. The B wave and the D wave can really mess with people, so be careful. All right, anything else we want to look at? Mike said AMC. All right. Thank you, Mike, for keeping it interactive. And Rocketman, thank you for mentioning DIEM. So let's see. I'll have to check out that video and make some comments on it. Yeah, I do want to check it out. I don't have any info on it. And honestly, I'm not like, I don't really know anything about a lot of these coins, just to be totally upfront. I know about Elliott Waves, which you can apply to any coin or any asset. I know we just talked about, are they even assets? But any chart. So I'm interested in the chart. So we can chart anything you want me to chart. I don't know like the background and the fundamentals behind any of the coins. That's just, that's not really what I'm interested in. But I do have, like a couple of my friends know about that kind of thing. I just tend to stick to what is interesting to me, which is the Elliott Waves and the RSI and all that kind of stuff. So like the specifics of the coins themselves, I don't know. And honestly, I don't care that I don't know. Like, some things I'm super curious about. Other things it's not exactly my element. All right, so, but yeah, thank you, Rocketman, for the tip about DIEM. And let's see, so let's check out AMC. And then Mike also asked, what's your prediction for Bitcoin in the coming months? All right, let's go back to Bitcoin really quick because I think I had that mapped out. I do have it mapped out actually on another chart. Let me see. I think I have Bitcoin already somewhere, but if it's going to be slow like this, then never mind. All right, that's too long. I'll check it out on this chart. Alrighty. Okay, so in the next few months, I think Bitcoin will go down to 19-ish. Maybe it'll go all the way down and really test it, or it might just come close. But that's the area I'm looking at. And then, the time frame's hard to tell. There are some tools you can check the time frame, such as the Fibonacci spiral right here on TradingView. But that's usually not what I'm looking at. So once it bounces off 20, if we start seeing 5 subwaves up, then it looks like I've already measured this out. And it looks like the next wave I'm thinking will go up to around 80, maybe 82,000. That'll make a lot of people happy. Although, that when it goes up there, people are going to be like, oh, it's going to 1 million or it's going to 100,000. Yeah, it could go to 100,000 from there, but people that don't understand Elliott Waves are going to be freaking out excited, and I'm going to be selling up around 80 some and waiting for it to come back down to like 10 grand or something. Because if it does go all the way up, let's say it goes all the way up to, oops, that was the wrong tool. Let's say it goes all the way up to 82 or whatever I had it at. Okay, let's say that's the top for this big wave that isn't done yet. It's going to come back down to at least 40 grand, at the very least. It could go down to, oh, it could go back down to like 17. That's the 0.786. And we saw Doge come all the way back to the 786 already. So we could have a wave up to 80 some, and then we could have a huge correction that could be, you know, something like could be something similar to what we've been seeing. Something like this, maybe. But that's in a lot. We've got a while. I mean, there's gonna be another wave up when the current correction is over. Then when that current correction is over and it goes back up, it will make 5 waves, something like this, to like I said, like 82 or something like that, somewhere around there. And I'll be looking for other signs to confirm this, you know, when that does, because I am planning to get in around 20 grand or under 24, maybe around 25, just in case. But like I teach, don't go all in straight away, because then if it falls down farther, you won't have any more left to dollar cost average in. Alrighty, well, that's probably what the next few months of Bitcoin will look like. Something like that. Now, this correction that we're in right now could go on and on and on. Like this one right here went from December 2017 all the way to March. It took 3 years. So this current correction could take another year to finally, just drain out all the people shorting. And then it'll be ready to rocket again. And we'll see several things confirming this. For example, there'll be a crossover on the MACD, but on the opposite side. So below the MACD, you'll get something like this, like a mirror image of it way down at the bottom. When it gets to the bottom, it'll be doing something like that, and then it'll cross over. That was a good signal that it was the top. If the other signals I showed you earlier weren't enough, that was another one. Isn't this just, sometimes it just feels so easy. You know, when I spell it out like that. Now, just because it feels easy sometimes doesn't mean it's not risky. Disclaimer, disclaimer. All right, so let's see. Mike asked for AMC. Mike said I would be interested in the program. Okay, awesome. Well, my program right now is in pre-launch. It's finished being made, and there are 2 people in it right now that already joined it. They're helping me. They're going through the program and giving me some feedback before I officially launch it. And in exchange for that, I gave them a really good discount. So if you want to get in on the beta testing, Mike, then there's a link in the description of the video that says like schedule an appointment with me, or you can message me on Instagram at the Daily Doji, DOJI, and then I have a couple more spots left in the beta version. I think there have been like 3 other people saying that they want in on that. So if you do want to do that, then get a hold of me quickly, because once I get those few people in, I'm going to just close it for a little bit until they're finished going through everything and I've got some feedback, and then I'll open it back up to the public for a higher price. So if you want to help me test it out, I'll give you a good deal in exchange for your feedback. What do you think? And there are a few people that expressed interest in that but didn't solidify it yet. So if you do want that, jump in on it, because I did fill up some of the spots already. All right, enough about that. AMC. All right, let's take a look at AMC. This is fun. I need something. I forgot to get something to drink, so my voice is getting there. But I love doing this live and having people give me symbols and then look them up and do the analysis. All right, so on the weekly chart, we had a great buy opportunity right there when it crossed over those moving averages. All right, so let's see. Is this the beginning? All right, I see something. This could potentially be in the process of making a good buy setup. However, if this is a 1, 2, 3, ooh, look at that. You see that 200 moving average? It's right near the top of wave 1, which is where I thought it was going to fall anyway. So either, if this is in the process of making a 5-wave structure, then it's not done yet. However, if that was just a wave 1, 2, and 3, if it's still in the middle of a correction, then it could be dangerous. So let's take a look at this. See, the problem with this one is that there's not enough chart. There's not really enough chart to know what's going on yet. If you're feeling risky, you could buy when it gets down there, above this previous wave. And then if it's making 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would ride that 5th one up and sell at the top. Or if that was it, 1, 2, 3, then however, the signal that I'm seeing is the volume. There's a lot of volume. The MACD is starting to turn. So these at the bottom here on the MACD, you see there's these colored lines, and then it turns from red into pink or something. So those just turned color, which means, and it's starting to come back up. But that's not a good enough. That's not a good enough signal by itself to mean anything. Okay, we're having a death cross right now on the 1 hour, where they're all crossing under the moving average. That's not good, but when this is done coming down, it might make a good buy opportunity. You want to take a look at the RSI and look for a good signal. I would look for it on the daily because of the confusion and uncertainty about this chart in general. But it looks like this might be an impulse starting up. So what you could do is, if it passes back above this line and if it comes back above it and then tests it and then goes up again, when it goes up again and makes another new high, that would be the buy signal. But right now, if you're feeling risky, you could try to get in down here. If it gets down closer to 20 bucks ish and bounces off this white line, will start coming up to meet it, and that could be a good buy. But I don't know if I did that and got in right there, I would be looking for an exit. I wouldn't necessarily just be hodling it, just in case this 1, 2, 3 is a 1, 2, 3 and not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that make sense? All right, let me know. Okay, so Learn to Code said CCIV. All right, thank you everyone for interacting. Let's check out CCIV, whatever that is. Churchill Capital Corp. Alrighty, let's do it. One of the reasons I like doing these where the people in the comments are giving me signals is because I might find a good buy opportunity. Oh, this is new. This might be too new. This might be too new to really get a good read on the chart. There might not be enough data. Let's zoom in here and see what we got. We have 5 waves. All right. Yeah, I think this was the first, well, obviously the first wave started way back there, but I'll just put it like right here. I think this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously that's done because it came crashing down. Wow, look at that big gap. You see where it came falling down and it just skipped and it just whoom and just skipped that whole area and just crashed down. That is crazy. That would have been a nice short at the very top in hindsight. Okay, so let's do a Fibonacci retracement. So we already came back to the down to the 786 right there, and we're almost at it again right now. So it could be done correcting, but this could be done correcting. And that could be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That wave 1 is hard to read, but sometimes the wave 1 makes like a leading triangle, and it has some overlap like this. 1, 2, and then I thought I saw subwaves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this might be a good buy right now. And again, disclaimer, don't do something because I said so. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and I'm interested in Elliott Waves. So people are asking me, and I'm doing the technical analysis. But just because I say something doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. Even though I've been right a lot, you still have to be careful. I see 5 subwaves down, a wave up, and 5 subwaves back down. I think this might be a good buy right now. Based on this looking like 5 waves up, this correction came all the way down to the 786 already, and it made what looks like a double correction, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a B, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3. I mean, or 1, 2, 3, and then X, and 1, 2, 3 again. So it's hard to declare the end of a correction. I keep saying that in about every one of my videos. So you have to be cautious. It's not just me, it's everyone. It's hard to declare the end of, if that was the end of the correction or not. So, but I do think that could have been the end right there, around 16 or 17 bucks. Then it came up, it looks like it came up 5 waves and down 3. So that looks like a pretty good setup. And I might buy a little bit for myself just to kind of put it on my radar on my trading platform. Let me see here. Yeah, I might make a little buy of this just to kind of start tracking it. But that doesn't mean you have to. All right. Let's see. Mike said, okay, I'll follow your Instagram right now. Yeah, Mike, send me a message on Instagram and say, I want in the program. And then I'll get back to you after my live, a few minutes after, and I'll let you know the details. Learn to Code said, you gotta love Doug, positive energy. Oh, thank you. Some people don't like my energy, believe it or not. But obviously, I repelled them with it. I only attract the people that I like to watch, and you are one of them. Learn to Code. I appreciate that. Thank you. CCIV is Lucid Motors. Oh, am I doing the wrong chart? Well, anyway, whatever Churchill Capital Corp looks like a decent setup as far as the technical analysis goes. So is that's not the one you were looking for? Okay, let me see. Okay, Mike said you have to go study. Take care. Peace. I'll talk to you on Instagram. All right. So if that was the wrong CCIV, then let's type in Lucid Motors. Lucid, nothing comes up. Nothing. You sure that that was it? Oh, it was the correct chart? Oh, okay. It says Churchill Capital Group. So they're changing the name. Oh, there's a merger. The merger was yesterday. Ah. Ooh, interesting. There is also a crossover on the MACD, on the 1 hour. Now, it's not the best crossover I've ever seen. And we have somewhat of a buy signal on the RSI. Not the best one I've ever seen, but I'm going to personally buy a little bit of this just because I'm curious. So I'm just going to buy enough, just probably one share, just to put it on my radar and one of my, whatever program I'm trading on. Okay, so let's see, who else? Merger anticipated on the 22nd. Oh, okay. Very interesting. Thank you. That's good info. I do so much research, but I can't possibly know even a fraction of all the information out there. So when people come onto my channel and give me good info, I really appreciate that. It makes my research that much easier. But yeah, I'm always scouring, studying, searching for good info. I'm trying to buy a little bit of this before I forget. Since I'm live, I'm bound to just forget accidentally. So let's see, it was CCIV, Churchill Capital Group. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a little bit. Little bits. Alrighty. Alright, done and done. You could call that a live trade. Alright, I just ordered some. Learn to Code said, I'm hoping Doge drops again so I can buy in lower. Yeah, I think, well, as far as I've been charting, it looks to me potentially like Doge is going to go up, I think, to around 30 and then back down to like 9 cents. And that might take a long, it might take its sweet time getting down there. But I think we're going to have a bump right about now, although I'm not 100% on that. So this could have been the 3 waves up, but I think just that was too small. So I really do think we're due for a third wave up. 1, 2, 3. And then it'll go back down, either 5 waves for the final leg down or 3 legs down. I'm excited for it. If Bitcoin goes to 24, where do you think Doge will be at? If Bitcoin, Learn to Code asked, if Bitcoin goes to 24, where do you think Doge will be? I think the charts look a little bit similar, but not exactly. So I think Doge, well, I have this buy zone drawn here from way back here. I think Doge would probably go down to around 9 cents. And the reason I thought that is because we have all the way back here, this previous high was around 8.8 cents or 9 cents. So I think this would be resistance. If it's coming down here, it's going to hit this area and have a hard time going any farther. It could happen. It could go as far down as it wants to almost 0, actually, and still be okay. So the lower it goes, if it goes around 9 cents and then down more, it doesn't invalidate that wave. It's just probably going to take forever to finally drag everyone out and then rock it again. But it will eventually happen. So learn how to read the Elliott Waves while you wait, is what I would personally do. Well, that is what I did. So, because I was involved in when Bitcoin rocketed in 2017. It basically almost did this very similar thing, and then it came down, and people were like, "Oh, it's gonna go back up to whatever," and it was no. It corrected for like 2 or 3 years, and that's normal. So it's not abnormal Once you know that it's normal and that it's following a natural progression, it takes some of the fear out of it for me, so that you can just try to be non-biased and just try to trade the waves without letting your emotions run all over the place. If you are really emotional about it, then odds are you're trading way too much currency for your own personal risk tolerance. The easiest way to know that is if you're scared when it goes down. That's how you know you have too much of it. If you were shorting it and it was going down, you would be cheering. Well, unless you're in control of your emotions, and then you would just be calculating when to get out of your trade. So try to keep the emotions out of it. I'm doing my best to show you all the tools that I'm using, and I'm not really emotional about this, which is a good thing, thankfully. A few years ago when I first started, I was, though. So I understand what it's like. All right, awesome. Well, that's it for me. If you have any more questions, I will stick around and answer them. If not, I'll see you in the next video. I've been going live 5 days a week, at least 3 days a week, but I've been doing about 5 days a week, Sunday through Thursday, or if a couple Sundays I missed and I just picked them back up on Monday. But I've been going hard on these videos, so definitely leave a like if you got value. If you're in any groups, crypto trading groups, or Dogecoin groups, or Elliott Wave group, stock trading groups, anything relevant that you can share this in Facebook, that would help out a lot. I never go on Facebook these days, but I am on Instagram at the Daily Doji, and I'm also at the Alkaline Life Coach. Actually, it's not it's just at Alkaline Life Coach. On that one, I've been sharing food images, but I'm just dabbling on Instagram. I'm not posting all the time. The most I'm posting is on YouTube, so you're in the right place. And I have a Patreon that I'm experimenting with, so let me know if you're watching this in the replay and you watched all the way to the end. Thank you so much. Make sure you reach out to me. Either schedule a phone appointment via my scheduling app in the description of these videos, or message me on Instagram telling me you want in the program, and I will get you in the beta test program before I officially launch it. So I'll look forward to the people that have been reaching out to me. There's a few people. Make sure to hit me up soon before it fills up, because I do have 2 people just got in on it in the last day. All right, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate all your feedback, and I appreciate the people reaching out with different symbols for me to look up. Let me know anything else that you want to know in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them in videos. My channel was just recently monetized, so that's why I'm so excited and cranking the videos out. And I'll keep doing it as long as you keep watching and liking and commenting. So I'll be back tomorrow with another Daily Doji. See you then. And if there's any news that you want me to look at, any crypto news or stock market news, let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in, because I've been wanting to do videos instead of the chart and everything, videos where I actually show my face and talk about the news, which could be fun and enlightening. All right, that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Have an amazing day on purpose, and trust nature. Live alkaline. Peace.